I'm actually surrounded by people who inspires me daily, people, especially people who are actually put in the same social conditions, same social challenges, but they emerge unscathed, how they challenge everything, all these disadvantages, but they still emerge unscathed in the midst of all these paranoia and uncertainties. So I draw inspiration from every single person. It could be of like a field worker, a laborer, or a businessman, a professional, because all of them have their own challenges, and they kind of, the way they turn it around, how they work around the problems. um, so I think I'm so lucky to have so many people from whom I could draw inspiration literally every day. And I was like very fortunate, and I think I'm quite um, I take a deliberate effort in the people that I have in my life, sort of. The way I choose my friends, or even relatives. To some extent, we can choose who to be in our first circle, right?
Yeah.
Their observations, their intellect, and what is that? Their knowledge, experience. I think I conduct interviews every day, even with people who I grew up with. Like any whatever little happen, whatever a small thought that comes into my mind, I would just share it with everybody and try to get how much ever information I can from those intellect minds. My father, mother, and brother, actually, they had been a huge source of inspiration to me. They had been the perfect role models. So I didn't have to actually go out and look for, read too many books. That's a good excuse for me not reading much many books. So they had been, through their lives, they had been um, I mean, a very great models. And I think when it comes to product development, when I kind of decide to do make the pen or the shaya, I always look up to Steve Jobs, because he is one
Oh,
person who
wow.
has revolutionized like a product. How, just look at iPhone, how many, the kind of values that has been attributed it, the kind of functionalities it has brought into just one product. We could get it off the watch, camera, timepiece,
Yeah.
maps, and like a gazillion torch. Like you think of the 100 things that you had in around you when you're growing up. You don't see most of the things around now. You just see a phone, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was totally inspired by that. I've kind of started buying from I own iPhone from its very first model.
Even me. So
Yeah.
the way I reacted was because I am such a huge fan. I mean, I literally have a poster also, that Think Different campaign here.
Yeah. Seriously. So when I think of a product now, I will see, okay, minimum, I have to have like at least 5 or 6 values attributed to it, into that one product. So when you look at the pen, for example, the paper pen, it is actually, we are using up the waste paper that is generated in the printing press. That is what the raw material we use for. And we employ only women. So there is women empowerment happening, and there is job creation happening. And we have added a seed into it. So we are actually, giving back to the nature, and that the tree produces oxygen. So every pen is a mini oxygen cylinder. And so many things that you could attribute to that, add to that, adds value to that pen. And it's also a pen, it also writes. So so
Wow, mini
uh,
oxygen cylinder.
yeah. So as a for whenever I design product, come up with any product, Steve Jobs is what who comes to my mind as an inspiration.
That's a very positive thing, I
That
mean,
is actually,
too.
if you think about the human side, okay, but just look at nature. I just follow ants sometimes, the way they kind of they change challenges into opportunities, sort of. The teamwork, the ever working, what's that, the mentality that they have, hard work to the core, isn't it? They never get tired. So nature offers us so much of inspiration every day. And since I have tuned my life to be into a very slow paced mode, I do get time to observe all this.
Oh.
So I think that is that is what really reflects in whatever I do also, no? Whatever campaign or product that I'm coming. I think the innovation has to lot with what the inspiration that I draw from nature to a great extent.
I mean, your room also seems to be full of very creative things.
Yeah, actually, if I turn it around, if it turn the other camera is full of things that I've collected from many places. My mom will be checking out me soon out of this house. Yes, this is totally like a kind of a garbage zone sort of. You will find all sorts of crap here. Because I said, when I'm going to get hold of this, I just saw it lying on the ground while I was walking to that house, and I just grabbed it and let me see it. I'll let it be here. I'm sure I'll come up with some idea later.
Wow.
So it's like a warehouse of crap. Sorry, warehouse of stuff.
Tough, yeah. But moms are usually like that, because even while I was alone in Bangalore, I mean, I was very worried that back at home, what would mom do with my stuff? All the arts and stuff and the diaries and all that I made. So, yeah.
Never know. Keep it locked and safe. They would understand why we are finding so much of value in certain things, until we come up with something.
How do you visualize India as a recycling sphere currently?
We are nowhere close to what we should be. How irresponsible we are with our lives, especially in the environment arena. I think developing like one road, just one highway, is ruining so many rivers, hills, and mountains and related, resources, natural resources. But I'm not against the so-called development. I know we need all this, but we need all this just because we are highly populated. So I think, reduce the population. We are not like a what is that, a dinosaur or anything that's going to be extinct. Just cut down on population, yeah, because that is why it needs more and more and more infrastructure, right? And we are digging our own grave in the name of bridges and roads and other buildings. So I clearly don't understand, the direction which not just India, like the entire world, how it's moving. So I think reducing the population has to be the first, the immediate urgent action that has to be taken. Just imagine a house, and if you have like 2 people, the kind of resources that you need in that house. Imagine the same with 4 people. Imagine with the 5 people. See, if you need like more and more and more, right, of the resources, only because the number of humans are going up. So recycling or any of this environment policies, I think it's not being in favor of preserving nature. It's only in favor of adding our luxury, and ultimately we end up paying a very, very high price for the so-called luxury that we are enjoying now.
Yeah. I mean,
just imagine the huge religious centers that's been put up, built in last few years, and not even not even 20 people can congregate in a place like that now, right? And we feel that once the medicine is vaccine is out, we'll go back to normal. But there would be another virus or something that is just around the corner. Who knows? So since now we have experienced, the whole pandemic situation, I think we have to completely pause and rethink and completely restructure our lives hereafter. We have to prioritize what are things that we really need, and invest only on that and exploit the natural resources only for that. And have some respect for the other creatures as well, and not for the luxury and the convenience and comforts of humans alone.